Good morning. What a beautiful day for graduation. Commencement 2022 begins, and it begins with me asking those of you who are standing on the brick walkway to my left, over near this screen, to find your seats or clear to the grass as we bring in the faculty and then our guests of honor, the graduates of 2022. Again, good morning. You graduates may all be seated. Please give your attention to the playing of the fanfare for the class of 2022, written by Professor of Music Ching-Chu Hu. It is the first time that you've heard this since your induction 4 years ago.
Good morning. Members of the class of 2022, parents, family members, trustees, faculty and staff, and honored guests, on behalf of the Board of Trustees of Denison University, I am delighted to welcome you to Denison's 181st commencement exercise. Just a little fun fact, there are 4,000 people on this lawn today. Graduates, you made it. After 4 years of attending classes, taking exams, writing papers, and completing projects, you are here in person together to celebrate what you've accomplished at your Denison careers. But remember, this is a commencement, not an ending, but a beginning. You are launching today into your future lives, and true to Denisonian style, into a lifetime of lifelong learning. Today, you will join the ranks of Denison alumni, and, like them, you will be called upon to lead by example, by excellence in your chosen work, and in service to others. This is what Denisonians do, and this is what I know you will do. You will continue to pursue excellence, serve selfishly, and build lives that inspire those around you. Today, we celebrate the conclusion of your student experience at Denison, but more importantly, we look with confidence to the future you will build. Our world needs your talents, your passions, and we are excited to see you put them into action. Indeed, we will not be surprised to see some of you on this stage someday to receive an honorary degree like Ms. Connie Schultz will today. Perhaps you will stand where I stand now at some future commencement, looking out across a field of graduating Denisonians and charging them to achieve and serve. Wherever you go, whatever you do, we know that you will represent your alma mater well. On behalf of the trustees of the university, I thank you, class of 2022, for joining the Denison family. You have allowed Denison to become a part of you. You have given the college and its community much in return. Congratulations and welcome to the Society of the Alumni. It is now my distinct pleasure to call to the podium the 20th president of Denison University, Dr. Adam Weinberg, who will lead in these proceedings.
Thank you. So I think as some of you may know, I tested positive for COVID about a week ago. So I followed our campus protocols. I isolated for 5 days. I found that I am a very annoying person to only be with for 5 days. Even I found myself annoying. Got a negative test, so I was excited about that. But I am going to follow our campus protocols, and when I'm not up on the podium, I'm going to wear my mask like we've been asking our students to do. I do want to thank all the students who reached out this week to see how I was feeling. I'm not sure I received any emails from my own family asking how I was doing, so thank you. And to the student who asked me what I was going to do if I didn't get a negative test, simple answer is I don't know, but Raj and I joked that I was prepared to build a little glass hut for myself right there, and that I would deliver the remarks from inside there, because if ever there was a class that deserved to have a perfect graduation, it was the great Denison class of 2022. So before I give my remarks, I want to start off with just a few simple notes of gratitude for everybody who makes today possible. Can I ask our soon-to-be graduates to please stand and face the audience? Can we give all of the parents? No. Now, nobody's following directions. Can I ask the graduates to give all of the parents, grandparents, mentoring organizations, and others who made your Denison education possible a round of applause? Now, if you can stay standing, if I can ask all the parents and all of our family members and guests to stand up. We're surrounding a special group of people. Can we give our faculty and our staff who work tirelessly to provide this great life-shaping education to our students a round of applause? And then our graduates can sit. And finally, to our students. Our students are smart, they're interesting, they're curious, they're engaged, they're empathetic, they're open-minded, and they're ethical. Our students work hard in classrooms and labs, and they perform at extraordinary high levels on athletic fields, artistic studios, stages, and everywhere else. Our students learn from each other. I have huge admiration for this generation of students. Can we give them a round of applause? Thanks, everybody can sit, thank you. I do want to give one other shout out, and then I'm going to give my remarks. And it's always dangerous. They tell you in new president's school, don't start singling people out when you're up on the podium. But I do want to single one group of folks out. I want to thank Kevin Mercer and our grounds crew for everything they did to make this campus look spectacular today. For all of our guests, the weather's been like this all spring. It hasn't rained, it hasn't been cold, it didn't snow at athletic contests 3 weeks ago. So what they did to make this campus look like this today is really spectacular. So as I started to write my remarks for today, I was spending a lot of time enjoying the various kinds of student performances that we do on this campus in April. So over the course of, I think about 3 days, maybe 4, I saw the Studio Art Senior Art Opening. I sat in on the International Studies Senior Capstone presentations. I met with a few students from our new journalism program, read some senior research papers, watched a dance recital with pieces written by our students and faculty, attended the gospel choir, and saw an amazing play written by one of our recent alums performed by our students. How cool is that? What all of these interactions suggested to me is something about the liberal arts. While one can think about the liberal arts in many ways, one powerful way is to see the liberal arts as the art of learning to tell stories. We take our students across the academic disciplines, exposing them to a wide variety of intellectual tools so they can learn to see the world and tell stories about it that allows them to be the architects of their lives in ways that hopefully contributes to creating a positive and better world. Notice I didn't use the word performance. As Yuval Levin has correctly stated in his new book, A Time to Build, too much of what passes for storytelling today is merely performance. The stories told are not about using what we believe is true to shed light on the world and advance it. Too much of what we see and hear today is performance that has little regard for truth and is aimed at crassly achieving self-serving ends, often regardless of the consequences. In the liberal arts at this college, we ask our students to learn to tell stories that embrace at least 5 principles. First, stories based on intellectual rigor. We ask you to form views, and we ask that those views are formed based on facts, reason, and rationality. We ask you to acquire the ability and the interest to discern fact from fiction and to respect it. Second, stories based on intellectual creativity and critical thinking. We ask our students to see problems in new ways, to be the critical thinkers and creative problem solvers the world needs, to find opportunities where others only see challenges, to be forward-looking and solution-oriented. Third, stories based on intellectual humility. We ask that our students develop the lifelong habit of realizing there is always a possibility, actually the possibility is about 100%, that we might not be all right. We might actually be wrong, and hence we should be lifelong learners who are always seeking out alternative views and facts and can challenge, refine, sharpen, and change our thinking. Fourth, stories that build on the stories already told by others. We ask you to understand that knowledge is always incomplete and it's shifting. The stories we tell ourselves and others come from someplace. They're part of long historical conversations that we are part of and that help shape the world around us. And finally, we ask you to tell stories that seek to make the world a better place. Liberal arts colleges came out of a quest for human freedom. That project's been going on a long time. We hope the stories you tell are attempts to contribute to making the world healthier and more just, however you define that. So let me give you an example of a story that's important as you graduate. There's lots of stories we can tell about COVID in the last 2 years, but the story we don't tell enough is about how you endured and how we used our liberal arts skills to navigate challenge, to continue to be together, and to provide you with a life-shaping education. So let me tell my story based on the principles above, and I'm going to do it briefly. In March 2020, we sent you home. By May, it was not clear what the fall would look like for Denison, for higher education, or for anything else for that matter. But we made the decision to reopen the campus in the fall. It actually wasn't clear that we could pull it off, but we knew it was important to make it our goal. We did it because you matter. We did it because your education matters. You deserved for your college to stand by you and to do everything we could to give you the year you needed and deserved. We led with our values and our commitment to purpose and mission. Second, we also believed that a liberal arts college should be able to do what others cannot do. We approach the monumental challenge in front of us the way liberal arts colleges should be expected to do so. We educate and inspire students to deal with ambiguity and change, to be learners, to connect people and ideas, to address challenges, and to innovate. So we teamed up with a group of research scientists at the Wexner Medical Research Center at The Ohio State. We used the available facts, reason, and rationality to best understand something, a virus, that wasn't particularly well understood at the time and that was actually changing on us. We did not bemoan that we could not get it perfect. We understood what we could, approached it with a healthy dose of intellectual humility, and did our best. In July, when many other liberal arts colleges decided to change course and not open, or only partially open, again we moved forward. We did so because we told ourselves a different story. Stories matter. And our story was that we could ask a lot of our students, and you would rise to the occasion because you are a generation that is resilient, that is creative, that is smart, and that would sacrifice a lot to be together on campus. The first few weeks back were hard. In truth, they were harder than we expected. So we quickly had to pivot. And we had to really, really, really learn to listen and hear each other and respect that members of our community had different views and perspectives around acceptable levels of risk and what people were both capable and willing to do and not do. That took the ability to adapt. Pulse surveys became a thing on our campus. The provost and I formed a faculty leadership group to help us see more clearly. Then there was the moment. Good stories always have that moment. It was a Saturday or a Sunday, and I was talking to Dr. Alex Miller from Student Life, who said, "This is going to work." Looking for affirmation, I asked, "What do you know that I don't know?" And Dr. Miller said, "Our students came back to campus committed to making this work. They don't want to go home, and our faculty and staff are doing amazing work to support them." So the fall was locked down. You spent a crazy amount of time with your roommates. Whoever your roommate was, the fall of your junior year, you probably spent more time with them than you ever will the rest of your life with any other human being. But it wasn't all bad. We bought hundreds of Adirondack chairs that are here to stay. We found outdoor spaces and new ways of being together and even having some fun. Food trucks and fire pits made their way to campus, and we got through it with virtually no COVID on campus. The second semester was better. It was kind of good, if it's okay to say that. I watched how creative, smart, committed, resilient, and passionate you were about each other and your education. I stood in awe of our faculty and staff and the ways they showed up and made it work. That doesn't mean it was easy. It was hard. It was really hard. And there were moments when many of you weren't sure you would make it, but you did. You grew as people, you demonstrated what you could accomplish as individuals and what you could do together. As a community of faculty, students, and staff, we leaned into our liberal arts attributes to guide us through the year. If anybody wants to know the value of a liberal arts education, they should look at we, and that means all of us, use those attributes to do what others could not or would not do. Our liberal arts attributes allowed us to see ambiguity and change as normal, not abnormal, to connect different data points and to weave different disciplinary and professional views to see more clearly what was happening in the possible paths forward, to separate fact or science, fiction from science or politics, to problem solve and iterate our way forward, understanding how one small step at a time can lead to great things happening, and to make decisions in a period of uncertainty with a clear and consistent focus on purpose, on what truly matters, and on what a particular moment requires from all of us. So my story's not the only story. My story is far from complete, but in the tradition of the liberal arts, my story seeks to inform by picking up pieces that others have missed, filling in a piece of a puzzle, or adding my piece to the larger mosaic. My story is one of hope, because that's also core to the liberal arts. The liberal arts were born from a belief in progress, that the world can unfold not in a linear way, but towards a better world if we work to make it happen. My story also challenges other narratives. I fell in love as an undergrad with the liberal arts because the liberal arts doesn't do orthodoxy. We welcome a wide range of views, we challenge our existing views, we create space for new stories that challenge what others believe to be true. Intellectual humility. So I would encourage you to take your liberal arts education and use it to tell stories that can move your life and the world forward. For lots of self-serving reasons, we have too many people publicly telling stories in ways that makes one want to give up and see only doom in a world where we have the knowledge to create a good future. Our challenge is will, and human beings being organized in the right ways, not knowledge or opportunities. The stories we tell or don't tell will shape the future. Shortly, you will hear from our graduation speaker, Connie Schultz. She is a master storyteller. Her stories lift voices that need to be heard and are too often prevented from being spoken. She tells stories in ways that others can hear them and that are designed to inform but also challenge and inspire. She creates space for others to tell stories. She has a Facebook page that last time I checked had over 150,000 people on it from across the political spectrum, voicing views, listening and learning to each other, and engaging in civil ways. It became a place for people with different views to share, to listen, and to learn. She's that kind of storyteller. So let me end. At graduation, I always want to celebrate the people of this great college, the relationships between us and the liberal arts. Denison, it's defined by the people who come here, the relationships we form with each other, and the way those relationships shape our lives. The great Denison class of 2022. It has been an honor to have you on this campus. I will miss you, I have learned from you, and here is my charge to you. Take the education you received here and live our mission. Be autonomous thinkers, discerning moral agents, and engaged citizens. Develop your own views and use it to live a good life in ways that positively impacts the world around you, however you define that. Realize the importance of differences of opinion, work across difference to find new ways of being, living, and thinking. To do this, be lifelong learners. Read often and widely, join book clubs, be patrons of the arts. Attend public lectures, set a tone within your communities that learning is important, that facts matter, and are developing part of fulfilling personal, professional, and civic lives. Second, embrace and sustain the relationships you've formed here. Many of you will remain lifelong friends. Many of you will become lifelong friends with Denisonians who were not friends with during your time on the Hill. I told a group of seniors about a week ago that I was in Florida about 6 weeks ago having lunch, and I got stopped by an elderly woman in her 80s and somebody else, and she said, "Are you President Weinberg?" And I said, "You can call me Adam." And she said, "I'm a Denison alum, and this is my roommate. And we have gotten together at least once, if not multiple times a year, every year since we've graduated." And then she paused, and she got teary, and she said, "We have 4 other Denison classmates flying in tonight, and we will spend the next 4 days joking about our time at Denison and the journey we've traveled together for the last 55 years. That's going to be many of you. You are graduating into an alumni community of 40,000 Denisonians who will provide relationships that contribute to your life in ways that are hard to imagine today. And finally, stay connected and committed to this college. Come back for your reunions. When you meet interesting students, suggest they look at Denison. Put a Denison coffee mug on your desk at work, a bumper sticker on your car, and a Denison pennant on your refrigerator at home. You are great people, and we want the world to know that you are Denisonians. Identify yourself so other members of our family can do the same. Congratulations to the great Denison class of 2022. So I now present to you the Chair of the Faculty, Jeff Thompson, Professor of Biology, who will introduce our student speaker.
It is our tradition at Denison that each year a member of the graduating class addresses the audience during the commencement ceremony. The speaker is chosen through a competitive process by a committee of faculty, staff, and students. This year's speaker is a data analytics major with a concentration in physics and narrative journalism. She has been a Red Corps member for 3 years and involved with Red Startup and the Red Frame Lab consulting program. She has been a data analytics fellow, a TA for multiple data analytics and math classes, and involved in research for the physics and narrative journalism departments. She feels it has been a privilege to truly immerse herself in the beauty of the liberal arts. After graduation, she will move across the country to Salt Lake City to work as an operations analyst in global markets for Goldman Sachs. Will you please welcome to the podium this year's student commencement speaker, Aditi Singh.
Good morning. Good morning, President Weinberg, esteemed faculty, staff, family, friends, and fellow graduates. Thank you so much for giving me the honor of being this year's student commencement speaker. I'd like to start with the story. I was in kindergarten, Bunker Hill Elementary School, right after we'd moved from India to the US. Miss Abernathy sat in front of the class with a paper cutout of a heart. And she looked at us and she said, "Say all the mean things you want to this paper heart." And ruthless we did. A girl said, "You're so bad at math." Someone said, "You can't color." Someone said, "You're dumb." And for everything that was said, Miss Abernathy would crumple a piece of this paper heart into a ball, a crumpled ball of paper. And then she said, "Apologize." And so we apologized, and for every apology, she opened up a piece of the crumpled ball of paper back to the paper heart we started with. She said, oftentimes in life, we go through difficult moments, and we experience hardship, and when our heart feels it, it crumples inwards. And just as the lines on a crumpled paper don't go away, neither do the lines in our heart. They stay. They define us and shape us into who we are. Granted, I was in kindergarten, but I still think about that day. It was because of this seed of compassion that Miss Abernathy planted in me back as a child that I dreamt of coming back to the United States. I've been an immigrant for 17 years of my life, and it's been incredible. The exposure is breathtaking. But it often comes at the cost of ambiguity. Within identity, roots, and grounding, nothing really feels familiar, or certain, or permanent. You can't know what's next because nothing's really your own. My mother often said this to me in Hindi, "Ghar ka ek mahol hota hai," that every house has a specific atmosphere, ambiance, energy, persona, one of comfort, support, and love. And I hope this resonates with everyone here in my class today, but I found that same mahol, that same love, here in my class. When I came for the first time here in August 2018, holding the banner during the induction ceremony for being the farthest away from home, my pre-orientation mentor didn't ask me, "Where are you from?" but she asked me, "Where is home for you?" She didn't tell me who I am, who I'm not, or who I should be. But for the first time, someone asked me, "Who do you want to be?" And that, by far, is the greatest gift of a liberal arts education. It's the opportunity we get to explore ourselves in the context of the larger world. We learn about the gruesome past in our history classes, and we ask ourselves, is that really just the past? We learn about technology during our STEM classes, and we question, are we on the right side of its development? We learn about social and cultural practices, and we reflect upon our own. Where have our come from? Have we imposed them, or have we preserved the ones that we've come with? This ability to look beyond one discipline and string together the different facets of academia is what makes us understand the world with empathy and compassion. And ultimately, it's what makes us understand ourselves better, pushing us to question our own beliefs, internalize our readings, and then reflect upon how can we use this knowledge, how can we use these questions to be autonomous thinkers of our own. This freedom, acceptance, and liberation is the beauty of our class, of our mahol. And it's come not just from the beautiful moments we've had together, but from the difficult ones as well. Leaving home, unfinished goodbyes, dealing with a pandemic. It wasn't easy. But we were a class that persevered. When we couldn't meet in our dorms, we met outside by the fire pits of East Quad. When we couldn't go out on a Friday night, we sat by the food trucks with our picnic blankets during those cool September nights. When we couldn't leave campus, we explored the IMs, we went to the bio, we walked around campus, we stargazed at night. And it was during those moments that we really got to know each other, immerse ourselves in our Mahal, absorb the beautiful journeys and the transformations that have surrounded us. And with time, our community got stronger. We got vaccinated, we came back to the classroom, we let go of masks, we started eating together. Ooh. And slowly, we've opened back to the paper heart we started with in August 2018. It's not the same pristine heart we had 4 years ago, but this is a heart that has crumples. And these are lines of definement, of growth, of maturity. We've had ups and downs, and these lines show all the different transformations, all the different journeys we've seen together. And it's beautiful to look at it, and it shows that we're no longer two-dimensional. We've got depth. It shows that we've been shaped and flourished all together as one class. We've built a community, a home, a mahal here on this hill together. And today, as we part ways, I would imagine Ms. Abernathy telling us that despite how delicate our hearts can be, for each crumple we endure, we gain strength and compassion. So let us take this strength and compassion with us to build a new home wherever we go next. Thank you very much.
Wasn't that fantastic? It's now my great honor to introduce the co-governors of the senior class, Sushin Moon and Chris Linares, who will present the senior class gift.
All right, hi everyone, how are you doing? Okay, do you want to say hi? No, okay. All right. First, we'd like to take this moment to thank those who helped with our senior class gift initiative this year. Will all of the 2022 senior class gift committee members please rise and be recognized for your hard work? Without you, none of this would have been possible. We encourage you to read in your programs the list of seniors who have generously given to the 2022 class gift. We're extremely thankful for what the university has given us, and we hope to pay it forward as we become alumni. Before we announce our class gift, we'd like to thank our families for their continued support of our Denison education. Thank you for cheering us on and for all of the support you have provided throughout our time at Denison, including making gifts of your own to the annual fund. Annual fund dollars ensured our career counseling, academic advising, mentoring, and so much more throughout our time here at Denison.
It is our great pleasure. Ooh, I didn't know it was that close. It is our great pleasure to announce that the class of 2022 raised $13,125 in support of our 2022 senior class gift. Additionally, a generous alumni couple has agreed to match our class donation with an additional $5,000 in support. Each of us have benefited in some way by the financial support of the annual fund, and that support comes in part from our alumni who have came before us. This alumni have given us the same opportunities and resources that they had as well. This was a way of giving both back for now and in the future. Help us stay involved within the community that we call home here. We hope that our class gift will continue to give back to Denison in a variety of ways long after today. Classmates, good luck in the future and enjoy the rest of the day of celebration. Thank you to Denison for the great 4 years.
Each year at commencement, we pause to recognize members of our faculty who are retiring or who have retired over the past year. It is now my sincere honor to recognize 9 members of the Denison faculty whose collective exemplary service to the college totals over 300 years. Full descriptions of their backgrounds and accomplishments appear in your program. Their contributions to our community of learning will be deeply missed. As I announce each of your names, will you please stand to be recognized as I call you out? Bob Galoni, Health, Exercise, and Sports Studies, 20 years of service. Bob has served as head coach of Denison's men's basketball team since 2002. He was named the NCAC Coach of the Year in 2005, and in 2016, his Big Red team won the NCAC tournament title and advanced to the NCAA championship tournament. Bob also taught the history of sports course in what is now the Health, Exercise, and Sports Studies major for 20 years, and he also offered an immersive seminar exploring basketball through the lens of culture, gender, and race. He supported students each semester through advising circles and was a mentor to the first cohort of students who came to campus through the Denison-Columbus Alliance. David Green, Earth and Environmental Sciences, 26 years of service. Dr. Green has taught introductory and advanced courses in structural and environmental geology and global tectonics. His research explores the development and evolution of structures in eastern Nevada and western Utah, and the structure and stratigraphy of metamorphic roof pendants in the Sierra Nevada of California. Previous scholarship, turn page here, included field research in Greenland and Australia, as well as a sabbatical outreach that taught earthquake-resistant building techniques in rural Guatemala. He is the recipient of several research grants, and many of his scholarly publications feature Denison student co-authors. Karen Graves, Educational Studies, 28 years of service. Dr. Graves taught courses in history and philosophy of education, social foundations of education, and queer studies. She held the Charles and Nancy Brickman Distinguished Service Chair from 2010 to 2013, and in 2019 was the recipient of the university's Charles A. Brickman Excellence in Teaching Award. Her scholarship examines the foundations of education, exploring how education contributes to our understanding of people and society. Among her many publications, one of her best known is her 2009 book, And They Were Wonderful Teachers, Florida's Purge of Gay and Lesbian Teachers, which received a Critics' Choice Book Award from the American Educational Studies Association in 2010. Larry Scheiderer, Director of Athletics Emeritus, 29 years of service. In his time at Denison, Dr. Schreider served as the Director of Athletics, Physical Education, and Recreation for 20 years and as Director of Athletics Operation and Compliance since 2011. During his time as director, he combined 4 strong departments into a single department of athletics, physical education, and recreation. He helped guide Denison's varsity sports programs to a league record of 11 North Coast Athletic Conference All Sports Championships titles, as well as top 3 finishes in the NCAC All Sports standings for 14 consecutive years. Larry was twice named the Division III Athletic Director of the Year by the National Association of Collegiate Directors of Athletics. Steve Vogel, philosophy, 38 years of service. Dr. Vogel has taught courses in continental philosophy, 19th century philosophy, environmental ethics, social and political philosophy, and logic. He has special research interests in environmental philosophy, in the works of Jürgen Habermas and of the Frankfurt School, and in Marxism, Hegel, and Heidegger. He is the author of Thinking Like a Mall, Environmental Philosophy After the End of Nature, and Against Nature, The Concept of Nature and Critical Theory, and has also published articles in Environmental Ethics, Philosophy Today, Rethinking Marxism, and many others. In 2003, he was awarded the Charles A. Brickman Award for Teaching Excellence at Denison. Lisa McDonald, English, 39 years of service. Dr. McDonald is the Dominic Consolo Endowed Professor of English. A recipient of the Earl Hartzell Award for Excellence in Teaching, she has taught in the fields of Renaissance, early modern literature, and contemporary drama, as well as classes in women's studies, Black studies, and queer studies. For 25 years, she co-led a travel seminar to London and Stratford-on-Avon, where students studied plays produced by the Royal Shakespeare Company, the Royal National Theatre, West End, and others. Her research focuses on Renaissance and contemporary dramatists. She has been the recipient of several national research grants, and she was one of 10 U.S. scholars chosen to study Shakespeare collaboratively with members of the Britain's Royal Shakespeare Theatre. Gil Wright Miller, class of '74, dance, 41 years of service. An alumna of Denison, Dr. Miller taught interdisciplinary courses that ventured into women and gender studies and aesthetic philosophies, topics that included modernism and postmodernism, the body and performance, and African American concert dance. She encouraged students to take risks, remain playful, and investigate with as much energy as possible. Her research engages topics of somatic exploration, for which she has received notable grants and recently was granted her Registered Somatic Movement Educator certification. She is a published author of several books and many essays, writing on feminism and somatic praxis, creativity in women in dance, and motherhood, amongst other themes. Suzanne Condrey, communication, 42 years of service. Dr. Condrey is a fourth-generation college professor. Her career has been inspired by the life of Licking County native Victoria Woodhull, the first woman to run for president of the United States in 1872. As an independent videographer, she produced documentaries about Woodhull, as well as about a team in the first women's professional basketball league in America. Interests in rhetoric, film, news, and script writing became topics in her classrooms. Alongside faculty members from the Department of Music and the Department of Cinema, she was instrumental in the creation of Denison's Media Technology and Arts major, a popular interdisciplinary program from 1996 to 2007. John Jackson, Religion and Black Studies, 48 years of service. Dr. Jackson came to Denison in 1974, serving as both an educator and dean of the chapel. He has worked to transform Denison's curriculum and campus culture, bringing to campus many key figures from the civil rights movement, including close associates of Martin Luther King Jr. Dr. Jackson was involved with the Great Lakes Colleges Association's Committee on Institutional Commitment to Education Equity, and he was invited to teach a faculty development seminar on Black religion for the National Council for Black Studies in Ghana, West Africa. He represented Denison in the inaugural Curriculum and Faculty Development Project hosted by the Association of American Colleges and Universities in 1993, which created a model of diversifying faculty and curriculum for higher education institutions nationwide. Please join me in congratulating and thanking our many esteemed colleagues.
I also want to congratulate and thank our retiring faculty for everything you did to serve this great college over the decades. Can we give them one more round of applause, please? So Denison has a long tradition of taking time at commencement to honor people who have achieved the highest distinction in their fields, whose work has had broad impact in society, and who exemplify the ideals of the college. Today, we're privileged to honor an individual who has made broad and highly significant contributions to her field and to the world. Connie Schultz is a Pulitzer Prize-winning columnist for USA Today and the author of the New York Times best-selling novel, The Daughters of Eerietown. She is also a professional in residence at Kent State University School of Media Journalism, where she teaches opinion writing, feature writing, and ethics. There's much more to be found about Connie's achievements in her bio in the commencement program. I would urge you to read about her. At this time, I'd like to welcome to the lectern Professor Michael Crowley, Assistant Professor of English and the nominator of our honoree. Michael?
Mr. President, I am pleased to present Ms. Connie Schultz, candidate for the honorary degree, Doctor of Humane Letters.
So as many of our students know, Connie has been a great friend to the college, especially as we've gotten our new journalism program up and running. So I've been looking forward to reading these next remarks for a couple weeks. The trustees of Denison University, by virtue of the authority vested in them and upon recommendation of the faculty thereof, confer upon Connie Schultz, a journalist, author, speaker, and educator, faithful friend of Denison over many years through many ways, on our campus as guest speaker for the 100th anniversary of Phi Beta Kappa, as a writer in residence, story in residence, keynote and tone setter for programs here on the Hill. A reporter, a chronicler, known far and wide as an inspiring champion of compassionate storytelling and for narrative journalism. An Ohio gem who comes to us as someone capable of clarifying the times we live in by being a champion of a free press, a witness on behalf of underdogs, for stories that often languish untold and unheard. Winner of the Pulitzer Prize in 2005 for commentary writer of features which literally have changed lives. Champion of justice, an exemplar of truth in expression and candor in living. The degree of Dr. Humane Letterist Honoris Causa given in Granville in the state of Ohio this 14th day of May 2022, being the 246th year of the Republic and of the university, the 191st. Connie, by the virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees and on the recommendation of the faculty, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Humane Letterist Honoris Causa. The chair of the faculty will invest you with the hood appropriate to your degree. I present you this diploma.
Love this.
We're pleased to not only be able to honor Connie Schultz today, but to be able to hear from her as our keynote speaker. Connie is a true friend of the college. She's the Nan Noack Writer in Residence, a program established through the generosity of a Denison trustee, Catherine Correa, class of 1979, and her husband, Stephen Correa. She's also the Andrew W. Mellon Storyteller in Residence, a program funded through a grant from the Mellon Foundation and a gift from a Denison alum, Sue Downard O'Donnell, class of 1967. I'm thrilled to have Connie as our speaker because she's really a great example of how liberal arts attributes of critical thinking, intellectual humility, and strong communication skills can make a positive difference in the world. I also just want to thank Connie for everything she's done for our faculty, helping us establish the new journalism program, and for the kindness and generosity you've showed this year and many years before it in your close work with our students. I get the great privilege and honor as part of my job to work with many, many highly accomplished people. And I get the chance at graduation to always introduce people who are highly respected. But being able to stand up on this stage and thank Connie for what she's done for Denison, to recognize all the ways she contributes to the world around her, and to now call her a formal member of the Denison community is truly a great honor and a privilege. Please join me in welcoming Connie Schultz as our keynote speaker.
This looks so much better 2 hours of sweat ago. I want you to know. Nobody cares, and I'm glad for that. I want to begin with gratitude. I'm going to try to do this without sunglasses. We'll see how long that lasts. I'm blue-eyed, so bear with me. I begin with gratitude. Thank you to Joyce Meredith, Special Assistant in the President's Office, for all that she has done to make this day possible. Thank you to Nancy Berg, Executive Assistant in the President's Office, who has kept me on schedule and at full attention. Thank you to the maintenance crews and campus staff who've been working long days to bring their magic, this magic, to this day and in this moment. Thank you. Thank you, Professor Mike Crowley, who I am lucky to call my friend. Greetings, Denison faculty members. Greetings to every family member in attendance. It's easy to feel anonymous in a crowd like this, but your presence here means everything to the student who scanned those rows to lock eyes with you today. And speaking of family, I want to thank my husband, Sherrod Brown, wherever you are, honey, who gives a lot more speeches in our family than I do in any given week, but was happy to tag along with me today. Nearly 2 decades ago, when Sherrod proposed to me, he promised I'd never be bored. Promise kept, Senator. And thank you, President Adam Weinberg, for extending this invitation to address the Denison community. What an honor to be up here today. A couple weeks ago, I was sitting with our 6-year-old, we have 8 grandchildren. I always feel I need to make sure I say that so they don't feel slighted, but I'm going to talk about only one of them for a moment. 6-year-old Milo and I were sitting on a couch talking because I had just given him a rock that was painted green and engraved with the word courage. And after about a 10-minute conversation, he looked at me and he said, "So Grandma, courage is something we have to try before we can feel it." I would say he's got that about right. In orchestras and in choirs, there's a concept called staggered breathing for those long notes. You take a moment to catch your breath, and everyone else holds the note for you. True for music, true for life. We all need those moments of staggered breathing when we can pause and take in oxygen and trust someone else will help carry the load. So dear students, I invite you to take a breather just for a moment here for all those big plans everyone keeps telling you you're supposed to have. You breathe, and for a few minutes here, I'm going to hold the note for you. Some people are missing today. People we wanted to be here with us. This is true of every graduation ceremony, but this year is like no other year. I'm sure many of you have noted that the flag has been lowered today in honor of the 1 million people in this country who have died of COVID. Millions more are grieving, and I just want us to acknowledge in this moment that. There is no denying that this has been the hardest 2 years for so many of us here today, including you students. I'm going to say especially you students. I know that Denison did all it could to open your world even as the country was shutting down, but the isolation and challenges of this pandemic have taken their toll. I want you to know this. There's not a faculty member I've talked to on this campus who doesn't understand how hard this time has been for all of you. I'm not saying they always did the right thing or said exactly what you needed to hear, but they knew it, and it was on our minds, and it was in our hearts. In my 2 visits here this academic year, we were constantly brainstorming ways to help students. This has been a college experience like no other. And yet here you are. You have survived, not just COVID, but the countless challenges it brought with it. Many of us are in awe of you. That is certainly how I would describe myself as I look out at all of you right now and hoping that I'm going to be keeping it short, and I am. As a writer, I'm always looking for a narrative arc of life. You will be the storyteller for this pandemic for decades to come. I wonder if that's occurred to you at any point yet in your young lives. One day, soon I hope, you will be able to look back and see not just how you struggled during this pandemic, but all the ways in which you grew, all those ways you surprised yourself, all those times you managed to stay afloat. My students at Kent State talk a lot about this other big lesson of the pandemic, this one. Turns out we really do need one another. To feel safe, yes, but also to feel complete. I've heard many stories about how you as students took good care of one another while you were here during the pandemic. One act of kindness at a time, on both ends of that equation, you discovered how to build a beloved community and understand why it matters. What a remarkable thing to learn when you're young, that we need one another, and we don't have to wait for the invitation to help, to reach back and carry as we climb. Too many people discover this far too late in life, in the lonely regrets of old age. What a wonderful legacy as you prepare to leave. So now what? I've been talking about this with your fellow graduating senior, writer Eiley Wright. And I asked for her thoughts as we got closer to this commencement ceremony. I didn't have to ask twice. In an email, Eiley wrote something that has stayed in my head, in part because I keep hearing the same version of this from my own students, but I'm going to quote her now. She wrote, "I think a lot of us have run out of that energy to do those great things and exciting things and groundbreaking things. I can't speak for everybody, but hearing at graduation that I have to go do stuff like that would make me even more tired instead of motivated. A lot of us want things that excite us, but we also want to feel safe. I think that's okay, and I wish there were more people who told me that was okay." Well, it's more than okay. I have to tell you, Eiley, I shared your thoughts with both of my classes, and almost all of my graduating seniors said, "You got to use that. Tell everybody that." The trajectory of my own career has never been a straight one. It's more like popcorn in a hot skillet, leaping here, bouncing there. As a woman in America, my career has been a series of opportunities to exceed the low expectations of others. I have had the time of my life. So, to you I say, start small. Start right where you are. There's no such thing as a wrong step if you're walking in the right direction. And in this very moment, we can commit to being activists for kindness. When I was here last month, I checked into the Granville Inn and I wrote down the last 2 lines of Mary Oliver's poem, Why I Wake Up Early. And I wrote it on this little, you know how when you go into a hotel, they give you a little card so that you don't lose your, and then you lose it anyway, but there. And I did lose my gate card twice, my room card, but I kept this. I wedged it right behind the thermostat, and these were the words. Watch now how I start the day in happiness, in kindness. I'm going to repeat that. Watch now as I start the day in happiness, in kindness. I had read that poem earlier in the day, and I decided this is going to be my new mantra. I read it aloud every morning before I came to campus here. When I returned to Cleveland, I taped it to the mirror at the top of the stairs so that I would see it first thing every morning before my coffee. As a journalist, I write about so much that is wrong in the world. I gravitate to the abuse of power and its impact on those who are underrepresented. As a novelist, I tend to write about the unfinished business in the hearts of hardworking people who never felt entitled to pursue their dreams. I understand about 20% of the students here are first-generation college students. So I might ask a favor, including all the parents and all the faculty. If you are the first in your family to graduate from college, could you please stand? Wow, look at that. My people, my people. When people ask why I keep writing such stories, I blame my mother. I grew up in a working class family in Ashtabula, Ohio. It's a little town people usually notice on their way to somewhere else, off of I-90. I was the oldest of 4 kids and the first in my family to go to college. It was my job to watch my younger siblings, especially in the summer. How many here are oldest siblings? Okay, so you know we rule for the rest of our lives. It's not just... At the end of August, right before school started, my mom would do something special just for me. She would ask a neighbor to babysit, and we would go to downtown Ashtabula to Carlisle's department store because they had a diner in the basement. This was a very big deal. This particular year was 1968, and I was 11 years old. I remember I had a toasted cheese sandwich, tomato soup, and a milkshake. Some things you don't forget. I remember the waitress treating us like family, as so many waitresses do. I also remember this. We had the nicest time until right up to the end as we were waiting for our check. Our waitress was waiting on another table, and the customer was a man in a suit, and he was yelling at her. I don't have any recollection of what he said, but I recall her saying over and over again, "I'm sorry, sir. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, sir," until she ran off in tears. My mother, all 4 feet 11 inches of her, not counting her beehive, she had the beehive, turned toward him and tried to stare him down, but he wouldn't look at her. So, after a few very awkward moments, my mother turned to me and said very loudly, "Honey, don't marry them until you see how they treat the waitress." What Mom meant, of course, was how we treat the people we're allowed to mistreat is the measure of who we are as human beings. And whenever we resist unloading our frustrations on someone who has to put up with it, the server, the desk clerk, the valet parker, we could all list the different people. Many of you have probably been in those jobs at some point in your lives. When we refuse to dump on them, we telegraph our respect for them and affirm our own resilience. With every act of kindness, we make certain we will never become what we loathe in others. That lesson in that diner has stayed with me my entire career. How do I know that? 36 years later, I was standing in line at a coat check after a charitable event, and I was with my husband, Sherrod, and the same group of women, all of them in their 50s and 60s was my guess, most of them women of color, had served us, had cleared the tables, and now one of them was behind the coat check counter. And it was a very long line, it was a wintry night, and I was watching her and thinking, boy, I can't believe she's got to do this now too. But next to her was this very big glass jar, and with one word on it, tips. And it was almost full. And because it was glass, you could see that it wasn't just singles, it was $5, a few $10 bills. So when it was my turn and I got up to the counter, I said, you look like you're ready to go home. And she said, I am so tired. And I pointed to the jar and I said, well, at least you get these. And she said, oh, we don't keep the tips. And I said, what do you mean you don't keep the tips? Who gets the tips? And she said, management keeps the tips. And I said, what? And I heard my husband behind me say, oh, no. So that was a Friday. The following Monday, I called the management of that party center, the largest party center in the city of Cleveland, the most popular one. And you know you're onto something when, well, I'll start with this. The manager started yelling at me. She was a middle manager. She goes, Connie, nobody cares who keeps the tips. And I said, oh, I think people do. She goes, nobody even asks. And I said, because you've got the word tip on the jar. Everybody thinks that they're getting it. In my line of work, you know you're onto something when about an hour later you get a call from 2 company vice presidents that you didn't call. You really know you're onto something when the first words out of one of their mouths is, Connie, there's no story here. I gave them the chance to change their policy on the spot. I said, I would love to write that you're not going to continue to do this to your workers. They assured me that nobody cared. So I wrote the column pretty much as I just told you, in a narrative form for you journalists out there, future writers. And then I simply asked readers, they say you don't care who keeps the tips. What do you think? By 11 a.m. that morning of the column, the company had already called, company spokesman had called the most popular talk radio show in Cleveland and said, yeah, we're not going to do that anymore. We're going to make sure they keep their tips. My voicemail, which held 90 calls at a time, I just sat there all day long listening and clearing it so they wouldn't roll over to the front desk because people were outraged and they were starting to cancel events at the party center, I found out. Who makes those plans mostly, right? The women in the family. Wedding receptions, bar and bat mitzvahs, graduation parties, they were canceling. They say, if you don't let them keep the tips, we won't be there. I wasn't trying to change the world when I wrote that column. I just wanted a dozen hourly wage earners to keep their tips. After the column ran, other servers started calling me. Tips on charge cards and how people often, if you leave a tip on a charge card, always ask if they're going to get it and ask if they get a service charge deducted from their tips. I got calls from people who are servers who were getting charged for the bills if their customers ran out the door. That violated federal labor law. At one chain restaurant, I found out that the management, charged every server who handed a customer a company pen to sign it, and then the customer kept the pen. My point by that is, step by step, we make our way. Step by step, I started learning about all the issues I could be writing about, and that's how my career took off as a columnist. It can feel so overwhelming, this world, this country. Some days we can't even keep up with all the bad news. Global warming, student debt, voting rights, civil rights, LGBTQ rights, women's reproductive rights. Haven't we been here before? My students keep asking me. Oh, yes. Yes, we have. I draw comfort from the words of Coretta Scott King. Her husband, civil rights activist Martin Luther King Jr., as you know, was gunned down by an assassin. This is from her memoir. Struggle is a never-ending process, she wrote. Freedom is never really won. You earn it and win it with every generation. Each morning, every single morning, each of you wakes up and you answer the same question, even if you don't know it. Is this the day I give up, or is this the day I keep going? Today, you had the right answer. Here you are, feet on the ground, eyes forward. Some days, that has to be enough. Some days, that's everything. I'll say it again, there's no such thing as a wrong step if you're walking in the right direction. I started this by telling you about staggered breathing. I'm going to end it with a new way to breathe, courtesy of a doctor who had the nerve to tell me recently that I was a type A personality. It was a conversation about stress, and she said, how often do you even stop during the day and breathe? And I said, I breathe in, I count to 4, I breathe out. She says, no, don't make it homework. And she had a different idea, so I'm going to ask it of you right now. What she told me is when you take a deep breath, imagine a wave upon the shore rolling in. And as you're breathing, think of a happy memory. And as you think of that happy memory, exhale and let the wave roll out. So let's do it all, everybody, right now together. Don't worry, I'm not going to ask you to sing. I hate when people ask me to do things at speeches. I'm just going to ask you to do something privately. If it helps to close your eyes, close your eyes. Take in a breath. Summon a happy memory. Hold that happy moment for just a moment. And now breathe out and let the wave wash out. In this moment just now, hundreds of us were lifting up what we know to be good in the world. Let's start there. Thank you.
The stories we tell ourselves and others matter, and Connie is a master storyteller, helping our students learn to do the same. Can we give her one more round of applause? Now we get to do the fun stuff. Ready? It can't be as hot down there as it is up here. Raj promised shade for everybody this year. He promised shade and good sight lines is what I thought he said. So I now call upon the provost of the college, Dr. Kim Copeland, to preside over the presentation of candidates in the awarding of baccalaureate degrees as authorized by the faculty of Denison University to the great Denison class of 2022.
Will the members of the class of 2022 please stand? Mr. President, I have the honor of presenting for their degrees the members of the Denison University class of 2022.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Denison University, and on recommendation of the faculty, I confer upon each of you your degree with all the rights, privileges, responsibilities appertain thereto. Congratulations, you are college graduates. So here's how we're going to do this. So people are going to come, Beth's going to come, take you one row at a time. Provost Copeland will read your names as you walk across the stage. It is not hot out there, so walk as slowly across the stage as you would like. You've earned that right. I am going to put my mask on, and I'm happy to do fist bumps, elbow bumps, feet bumps. Probably not, head bumps is probably outside of my area of expertise, but I probably won't do handshakes unless anybody really wants to do handshakes. But congratulations, and let's now do the fun stuff.
And you can be seated, graduates. Ready? Class Co-Governor, Christopher Linares. Class Co-Governor and President's Medalist, Sushin Sarah Moon, summa cum laude. The President's Medalists, Hannah Harrington Gilson, summa cum laude. Sophie Harrington Gilson, summa cum laude. Sarah Ellis Hume, summa cum laude, co-salutatorian. Liam Michael Jeanette, summa cum laude. Ariella Jordan Katz, summa cum laude. Max Bradley Sternberg, magna cum laude. Rayshawn Walker. Graduates receiving the Bachelor of Fine Arts degree: Deborah Garner, cum laude. Madeline Kuntz, cum laude. Yuan Liu. Peter William Tokiji Lachlan, magna cum laude. Graduates receiving the Bachelor of Science degree: Taylor Marie Adams. Anubab Adhikari. Georgi Alavidza. Cole Bremner Bagosi. Ethan Bevel. Yusuf Bourafail. Malik Bridges. Jose Campos Sanchez. In absentia, Tim Cianciola, cum laude. Ariana Debevic, cum laude. Joel Isaiah Devaya. Jacob John Edwards, magna cum laude. Fuli Gel Folivi, cum laude. Jeffrey Gua, cum laude. Tom Ha, summa cum laude. Ryan Hallinan. Cassandra Ray Heslin. Sawyer Hilt. Elliot Hoinville. Brendan John Baptiste. Emily G., magna cum laude. Catherine G., summa cum laude. In absentia, Jung Young. Grace Marie Kazmarek. Amna Khalid. Andrew Kurlick, magna cum laude. Magdalene Lemaster. Evan Daniel Lang. Laura N. Lapham, cum laude. Bennett Lawler. Hannah Nicole Lester. Xinyuan Lee. Katie Livingston. Ariel Lovey. Sydney Dahl Ludus, co-salutatorian, summa cum laude. Bokun Liu. Anne Marie McCombs, magna cum laude. Peyton Reese McElfresh. Reese Maxwell Malone, magna cum laude. Lillian Morrow. Joey Muncie. Megan Catherine Munn. Drew Naderveld, summa cum laude. Maya Newman, magna cum laude. In absentia, Monica Ng, Hang Min No. Tao Trang Thuy Nguyen, magna cum laude. Tung Nguyen, summa cum laude. Paneri Patel. Maria Grace Pavlik. Nam Pham. Jaleel Pool. Nicholas Joseph Reichert, summa cum laude. Christian Rio Sarango. Stephanie Lidovine Rodriguez, cum laude. Katie Schroeder. Annika Schwingle. Anusha Shukla, summa cum laude. Rebecca Ann Skolnick, magna cum laude. Derek Sun, summa cum laude. Theodore Sun. Tae Huang Trang Tin, magna cum laude. Lucas Ralph Unver, magna cum laude. Benson Vasu. Adam Brookins Wade. Barlow Wagner, cum laude. Quinn Hazel May Wagner. Haoshin Wong. Emily Wilson, cum laude. Destiny Marie Wiseman. In absentia, Lu Zhu Yan. Nicole Zid. Peiyu Zhang. In absentia, Ji Huang Zhang. Joy Zhou, summa cum laude. Frank Ju, cum laude. Candidates receiving the Bachelor of Arts degree. Caroline Obushi, cum laude. Leah Ackerman. Braden Adamson Tate. Malini Lakshmi Adkins. Akshat Agarwal, cum laude. Alejandra Aguirre. Sophia Taylor Alexander, cum laude. Daniel Alvarez, Jr. Andy Andrade Reyes. Thomas Andrew. Micah Nathaniel Arnold. Rohan Aurora. Michael Joseph Arpezi. Kofi Asante, Jr. Avery Hannah Asherman. Fabiola Avila. Daisy Aviles. In absentia, Sean Bailey. Megan Elizabeth Balbo. Megan Amelia Balch. Luke Anthony Baldwin. Michael Ball, magna cum laude. Ana Bayivian Ortiz. In absentia, Grant Clay Baylog. Catherine Alice Barber. Rowan Barnes. Sarah Barney, cum laude. Grace Battersby. Kennedy Bayer. Riley Bell Bruno. Magdalene Erin Bell, magna cum laude. In absentia, Sophia Angelia Ballone. Inasia Belton. Joseph Garrick Bender, Jr. Lane William Bentley. Samara Benza, summa cum laude. Riley Antoinette Betchkel. Susan Lynn Bearderstead. Britton A. Beanfang. Sophia Bittner, magna cum laude. Hannah Bjorkman. Andrew Gillis Blanchard. Stella Beckman, cum laude. In absentia, Michael Alex Bohms. Benjamin Bonebreak. Penelope Violet Boone, cum laude. Jason K. Bourne. In absentia, Camden Henning Bowdy. Sophia Rosalie Boyages. In absentia, Sophie Tomlinson Boyle. Hannah Elizabeth Arnaiz Badvika, magna cum laude. Taya Parthenian Brennan. Samantha Curley Breville. Caroline Brink. Isabel Brocado. Henry R. Brooks. Freeman Brew. Blake William Brown. In absentia, Dylan Charles Brown. Miha Buxbaum Rappaport, magna cum laude. Peyton Jeffrey Birch. Henry Guy Burnett, Jr. Olivia Lee Burnside. Catherine Ravenscroft Cahoon. Maeve Caldwell, cum laude. Elijah Renee Campbell. Catherine Cho. Michael David Carr. Lily Carroll. Elias Cesena, cum laude. Samantha Chase. In absentia, Bo Yu Chen, Nung Kwan Chen. Kevin Chang. Sophia K. Cheros. Annalise Cheshire, cum laude. Anjana Chiathri. Dominica Crouch, cum laude. Shivika Churawala, magna cum laude. In absentia, Thais Clark. Mir Colbert, cum laude. Essence Cole. Hannah Coleman. In absentia, Scarlett Chantel Constant. Isabel Magdalicia Contreras. Maya Josephine Capoya. Tegan Cornell. Cole Weston Cox. Jessica Lynn Crabtree, summa cum laude. Spencer Nicole Crawford, cum laude. In absentia, Davis Michael Cronin. Delia Crotty. Nicholas Vincent Chepakaitis, cum laude. In absentia, Justina M.E. Dadson. Morgan Daniels. Ryan Christopher Davey. Trey Dawkins. Catherine Joan Decker, magna cum laude. Caleb Michael DeLong. Lucy Monroe Desmond. Rosemary Jameson DeWitt. Nicholas Dimmitt, cum laude. To Ding, magna cum laude. V. Duan, magna cum laude. Lucy Catherine Dobson. Callista Bristol Duggan, cum laude. Miriam Duran. Rachel Duval. Meredith Ehlers. Henry Eisner. Omar Elliott Diab. Caitlin Elwinger. In absentia, Dionshu Imandi, summa cum laude. Andrew Emery. Jacob Engelstad. Olivia Ewing. John Richard Fowler, magna cum laude. Farah Mohammed Farah. Cameron Liam Farron. Francis Taylor Fay.
My God. Thank you for everything.
Abigail Barris Firstos. In absentia, William Filio. Andrew Furman. Porter Fitzgerald. Elisa Flores, cum laude. Lena Michelle Folk. Paul Forader. Catherine E. Freidinger. Elena Spielberg Friedrich, cum laude. Samuel Norio Fujikawa, summa cum laude. Amanda M. Funk. Sophia St. Clair Gagas, summa or cum laude. Heather Gao. Diana Montserrat Garcia Villagomez. Lucas Anthony Gately. Alyssa Gebhardt. Thomas Rush Jalorum. In absentia, Marina Isabella Gentlecore. Jenna Lee Gewurz, magna cum laude. Joanna Gilbert. Keenan Janelle. Elizabeth Gladden, cum laude. Blake Harris Glatley. Raleigh Carson Goldberg. Michael Goldman. Ariel Gomez. Destiny Gonzalez. Sean Michael Griffinkrantz. Elena Gu. Cynthia Guerrero, summa cum laude. Jake Boris Gunther, magna cum laude. Yenny Go. Crystal Gutierrez. Ellie Gutman. Henry Griffin Hack. Reddit Habta Gabriel. Nessa Hafty. Thomas Whitman Heffenreffer. Chris Hall. Riley Meredith Halpern, summa cum laude. William Harker. Graham G. Harrington. Sarah Catherine Harris. Matthew Hastings. Griffin Hayden. Ruth Ann Kirsch Heithaus. Michael McMillan Henniger. David Henning. Olivia Suzanne Hervey. Brenna Grace Heskett. Lydia Hewitt, summa cum laude. Brian Labasco Hickey. Augustus Hoffman. Jean Allen Holland III. Joey Holman. Jessica Marie Hopkins. Ethan James Horgan. Noah Housekeeper. Ha-Young Hu. In absentia, Li Ping Hu. Xiao Hu. Song Huang. Andrew Hughes. Harrison Griffith Hunt. Dylan Hunter, cum laude. In absentia, So Young Her. Lewis Hurd IV. Juliet Hurwitz. Jarrett Marshall Hyder. Louise Ineza. Noah Jaffe, cum laude. Isha Jogdone. Harry Baxter James. Rachel Catherine Jankowski, cum laude. Devin Cameron Javens, cum laude. In absentia, Yi Zhang, cum laude. Kindler Joel. Jade Johnson. Jashawn Johnson. Mary McAfee Johnson. Zachary Johnston, cum laude. Kyla Monet Jones. Ramat Jose. Annika Catherine Knuckle Wolf, magna cum laude. Anne Catherine DeJong Karsten. Maddie Kate Kaufman. In absentia, Brendan Manos Kazinjian. Amelia Kiefer, magna cum laude. Rachel Leah Kelsey. Maria Kennedy. Michael Kern. Diana Kademi. Nina Kademi, cum laude. Basil Ali Khan. Abigail King, cum laude. Lila Kiron, cum laude. Sydney McPherson Kistler. Davis Paul Scott Clean. Grace Kathleen Klein, summa cum laude. Samantha Klein. In absentia, Saya Acantha Knox. Kenroyal Tidum Nalfu Kagbara. Catherine Rose Kolva. Charlotte Kaiser Kuntz. Mary Elizabeth Cousin. Alexandria Rose Kovach. Marin Crack, magna cum laude. Patrick James Kramer. Vaidehi Kudyadi, cum laude. Jacob Coleman. Alan Kupka. Piotr Curletto Jr., magna cum laude. Casey Land, cum laude. Olivia Eden Lantry. Nya Pham Tian Le, magna cum laude. Zeyu Le. In absentia, Ang Lee. In absentia, Mishing Lee. In absentia, Shi Young Lee. Lucas John Lilly. In absentia, Lucas John Lilly. Seven Xavier Lindsay. Olivia Stewart Lenartz. Kenneth Shaw Lipman. Stephanie Chungji Liu. Jennifer Liu. In absentia, Siki Liu, cum laude. In absentia, Jacqueline Long. Anahi Lopez, cum laude. In absentia, Ryan Lower. Ollie Lueck. Abigail Marie Luft, summa cum laude. Emma Lumsden. Isabella Lundy, magna cum laude. Ma Shizheng, magna cum laude. Cam Mack. In absentia, Colin Gregory McMillan. Liam Farrell Mahone. Samuel Meyer. Meshach Malley, cum laude. Kayla Jaden Malone, magna cum laude. John Mangle IV. Oliver Albert Manlove. Adam Joseph Marcia. Anne Matoni. Claire Maurer, magna cum laude. Jackson Tyler May. Sean Edward McCafferty. Patrick Sung Yon McCollum. In absentia. Thomas Joyce McDowell. Hugh Leo McLaughlin IV. William J. McManaman. Tess Kathleen McNulty. Casey Lynn McTague, magna cum laude. William Alden Meinzer. In absentia, Daniel Raymond Milholland. David Henry Miller, cum laude. Jamie Mitchell. Mark David Mitchell. Olivia Nicole Mize. Pratiksha Mohan. Sylvia Regina Menardo, cum laude. Stuart Moore. Charles Morgan. Hannah Nicole Morton. Atticus Muller, magna cum laude. Anya J. Nelson. Harrison J. Netburn. Kwang Gu. In absentia, Huang An Nun Nguyen, summa cum laude. Lin Nuk Quan Nguyen. Jawei Nu. Grant Noble. Carly C. Natzel. Alexis J. Noga, cum laude. Ken Noguchi, cum laude. Brandon Novak. Chloe Elizabeth O'Connell. Noah Luna Paletti. Jose Peleas. George Taylor Parrott. Namaya J. Perry. Dang Nguyen Pham. Magina Philip. Brianna Phillips. Alan Fung. Liam H. Picozzi, magna cum laude.
Thank you.
Jalen Pierre. Lily McCrae Piggott. Kelsey Marie Pillar. Devin Plaga, magna cum laude. Jillian Elizabeth Place. Joshua Poe. Isabella Cyperic Planader. Claire Powell. Zoe Kenyon Pratt, summa cum laude, co-salutatorian. Willie Price. Ben Rahal. Maxwell Rahal. Jorge Luna Ramirez, magna cum laude. Dana Randall. Jacob Tucker Randall Bodman. Joseph Rapp. James Reed Rao. Sullivan Dupree Ray, summa cum laude. Jack Reaney, summa cum laude. Emma Margaret Reed, magna cum laude. Robert Byron Reynolds, cum laude. Jill Hudson Reiner. Sabrina Kate Rice. In absentia, William Monroe Rife. Calvin Riley. Casey William Thomas Roberts. Eleanor Jane Roberts. Dylan C. Robinson. In absentia, Leave Robinson, summa cum laude. In absentia, Joey Rockty. Eric Rodriguez. Gabriela Rodriguez. Samuel Antonio Rodriguez. Meg Rogan, cum laude. Lainey Suzanne Rogers, summa cum laude. Cole Rosenblum.
Let's go!
Polina Rustamoff. Ethan M. Ruley. Ariel Colucci Russell. Milam Saha. In absentia, Yasmina Salahuddin Robinson. Anais Joanne Salinas. Jose Sanchez. Taylor Sanchez. Casey Saradzan. Chelsea Minerva Sorante. Lyndon Shable. Charles R. Chappelle. Ben Sherman. Sarah Clayton Scheuer, cum laude. Elizabeth Schimmel. Ashley Lynn Schmoll. Charles A. Schweiger. Andrea Scroggs. Henry Kirtland Selden. Zach Service. Rojika Sharma. David A. Sharp II. In absentia, Hongjui Shen. Linshi Shen. Avantea Ivy Sifki. Jack Irving Silverman. Shane Silver Riskin, cum laude. Liam Simmons. Aditi Singh, magna cum laude. Ellen Louise Sipe. Ashling Smith, summa cum laude. Caroline Smith. Zoe Catherine Smith. Kyun Tung Song. Anel Sosa. Fadumata So, magna cum laude. Shannon Lee Spagnoletti. In absentia, Thomas John Spahn. Daniel M. Spencer. John South Spencer, in absentia. Jess Lynn Spitzer, summa cum laude. Charles Midgick Stacy. Martha Staus. Annabelle C. Steer Wood, magna cum laude. Julia Marie St. John, class valedictorian, summa cum laude. Kai Stolze. Annika Rose Stotts. Elizabeth Frances Sullivan. In absentia, Lucy W. Sullivan. Kieran Maxwell Sutliff. Faith Sutton. Liv Lillian Swanson. In absentia, Corey Thomas Schwartzmiller. Hannah Simmons, cum laude. Yane Israel Taran. Mark Harris Taylor. Rebecca Taylor. Patil Chalakian. Carlissa Tenaglia, magna cum laude. Will Thomas. Youssef Thomas. Ani Toby, cum laude. Paula Gabriela Torres Diaz. Emma Elizabeth Tracy. In absentia, Kan Tran, cum laude. Tran An Lok. Maya Tumiwa. Adrian Justice Vanden Diesel. In absentia, Douglas Vasquez. Quig Mason Beach. Anne Craig Veith. Kyle Verstandig. Olivia Vrablick. Dora Marie Vretos. Dylan Walzak, magna cum laude. Bridget Murphy Walsh. Sonia E. Wanberg. In absentia, Yubo Wong, cum laude. Emily Ann Waters, cum laude. Laura Duncan Watson. Sadie Webb, magna cum laude. In absentia, Julia Michaela Weigman. Elijah Sage Weiner. Bridget Ann Welch, cum laude. Justin Richard Wernoski, cum laude. Dacian James White. Tevian Amon White. Elliot Mosley Whitney, magna cum laude. James K. Whitney. Stuart Arthur Wendell, magna cum laude. Catherine A. Whittick. Gayla Alvite Walcott, magna cum laude. Carson Douglas Wood. Claire Marie Woodard, cum laude. Ileana Jolie Walsh Wright, cum laude. Melissa Wu, cum laude. Jiying Wu. Chairo Yen. Chen Xuan Yen. Avery Young. Shenji Yu, cum laude. Kadi Zacharias. Antonio M. Zacco, magna cum laude. Zhenxing Yang. Chengyang Yang. Mingqin Zhang, summa cum laude. In absentia, Yiho Zhang, magna cum laude. In absentia, Yifin Zhu and Catherine Zin.
So as Catherine makes her way up on the stage, I do want just two quick announcements. One is one of the many things that the class of 2020 will be known for is the unbelievable percentage of your classmates this spring who are playing in the NCAA tournament for various athletics. So you got a bunch who are not here, you got a bunch who are on their way. Can we just wish them all good luck? And I'm going to be traveling to try to catch some games and watching the rest on my phone. The other is I have a favor to ask of the graduates. Hey, first Poydette, can we just congratulate our graduates one more time? So before you leave campus, I would just ask each of our grads, just take 5 minutes at some point today, go back to your favorite place on campus, and just take 5 minutes to be proud of yourselves, of everything you've done, everything you've accomplished, and just know that your alma mater today is incredibly proud to call you Denison alums. Congratulations. So now we're in for a treat. It's our tradition, as everybody knows, I hope, to close commencement each year with the singing of the first verse of To Denison, which is our alma mater. I'm pleased to introduce our new graduate, Catherine Barber, who's going to sing it for us once. Her voice is amazing. We should ask her to sing it a half dozen times, and then we should join her. But Catherine's going to do it once, and then we will sing it all a second time with her. And then when we are done, Professor McFerrin will come up and talk about how we're going to recess. Congratulations, everybody.
To Denison we raise our song, fair college on the hill, the name that sets our souls on fire and lets our voices thrill. To Denison, my Denison, in praise our voices thrill, the scenes of happy college days, the home we love so well. To Denison we raise our song, fair college on the hill, the name that sets our souls on fire and makes our senses thrill. To Denison, my Denison, in praise our voices fell, the scenes that happy college days, the home we love so well. Recess. Ladies and gentlemen of the graduating class, please be seated. In fact, everyone be seated. We are going to have the platform party and the faculty recess. And after the recessional, Associate Provost Catherine Dollard will dismiss the graduates for the ceremonial turning of the tassels and the tossing of the mortarboards. Thank you.
Members of the class of 2022, please join together as a class in turning your tassel from right to left. You may now celebrate by tossing your mortar boards. Congratulations.